All right, here we are, home stretch. Can you believe it? We are finishing our Star Defenders game. It looks great so far, but there's still more that we could do. This is so exciting. I cannot wait to get this section completed and have like the coolest game ever. This is seriously cannot wait for my friends and family to play. So, let's get started. We are starting section 4, which is going to begin with scoring and game HUD. Let's read. For this first section, you'll add some text to your game layout so you can keep track of your lives. Cool, because I don't know how many lives we got right now. The wave number, so which stage you're on, and then eventually your score. Before we can get started, the first step is to learn a little bit about text and construct 3. I've never done this lesson before. This is my trial run, so let's get started. A text object can be added to your layout to display information during the game. So it looks like I need to go to my layout tab. I'm going to open up both these bars again. Remember, a lot of times I close them just to save space. So view project bar is the one that started on the right. And then we're going to do open the properties bar. That'll be on the left. I might end up needing to close these, but we'll see. Okay, so let's make this one bigger. This one a little bit bigger. A text object can be added to your layout to display. So on the game layout, so remember what we're going to do is we're going to click right here on the game layout. Double click to insert new object. Okay, new object type. And this time, rather than clicking sprite, we're going to find where it says text. Not text input, just text. So this one right here. And we're going to name it text player lives. You could also probably name this like display player lives. I think that would make sense too. Click on the top right corner. Oh, cool. With the player lives text selected in the properties pane, so this one in the properties section down here, you can change the font. Okay, and then we can change the size right here. Super cool. You'll see it increasing. Change the horizontal alignment to right, so that's going to push it to the right. You can also change other properties. It says when you resize your font, it could be too large for the size of your text box. You can resize the text box by holding the side handles. Oh, I never knew that was the word. Side handles. To make it larger as needed. Okay. So we're going to go back to this tab. I'm just going to squeeze this because I have a feeling we're going to need it again. And maybe I'll move it over here. On your event sheet, add a new group. So I'm going to close my groups. Add, remember, you don't want anything illuminated. New group called text updates with a description of updates text elements. Add an event for the system object. So add an event right here, right, to the system object with the condition of every tick. This event will run every game tick. Add 2 actions to your new event. The first one should set, oh, look at that, text of player lives to a text. Whoa, there's so many cool things I could do. Let's see. I believe I'm going to use I think I'm going to use set text. Yeah, cool. Um, Notice you're going to want to put everything in quotes because that's what we call a string, and the system is going to print anything you put in double quotes right onto the page as a string, meaning a line of text rather than a variable or a number. So lives, well, I guess we'll capitalize this. You want to put a space afterwards so then it like prints a space as well. And then it looks like the way we concatenate in construct 3, meaning combining a string with a variable, is that and sign. Player lives, notice we are using our global variable for player lives. So this is really cool. What it's going to output for text is it's going to say lives, and then whatever number is getting stored in player lives variable. This is why the variables are so important. The second action is to select the text player lives object with the action of move to the top. So we're going to select this, move to the top. What this means is that in terms of like layering your objects, this is going to get sent to the top layer. Your text is on the top layer, so then it doesn't get hidden underneath the enemies or boss. We can run this and see. Check that out. Okay, now that you've created a text object, you're going to do the same so the player knows what wave they're on. Cool. I don't remember that in our practice game. So we're going to create a new text object called text wave. So that's this one. We're going to look for the text, and this one's going to be called text wave. Set the font to match the player lives, but align the text centered. I guess we could always move it. So remember, we're going to go back to our properties bar. We definitely want it to be the same size and everything, so I think I just clicked on the wrong one. Okay, so this was 20, but now they're saying put it in the center. Okay, here we go. Add an event. So this is conflicting to what they're saying, because right here they're showing add an action, right here they're saying add an event. Well, wave number is getting stored up here, so I think just adding it as an action for every tick, so it's like consistently getting checked, is fine. So we're going to do text wave. This was set text, I believe. And we're going to write wave. Remember, you want to put a space there, otherwise the number is going to get combined. We're going to use this symbol. It's called a concatenator operator. It just means that you're taking a string, which is this piece of information, and combining it with a variable. So I believe our variable was just wave. And so actually there's a number getting stored here, and that's what's going to show up. So if we ran our game, let's see, I'm going to, oh, check that out! When I collect extra lives, my lives goes up. I just want to make sure this is really cool. 1, 2, 3. Boom! Wave 2. Alright, this is cool. Create a scoring system. Here we go. To create a simple scoring system, we're going to start by creating a global variable for score. With our scoring system, we want our player to gain points when the enemies and boss are destroyed. Using what you know, create an action to add 10 to the score when an enemy is destroyed. So it's going to be in my bullet collisions. When the, not the player, but when the enemy is destroyed, it looks like we're going to add it right here. You could keep this closed. So I'm looking at enemy on destroyed, and I'm going to add an action to my system. That's going to be add to. So that's my global variable of add to. And we're going to add to the score. So if you destroy an enemy, you'll get 10. If you destroy a boss, you'll get 100. So boss on destroyed, you will earn 100. This is my system. Add to score. And we're going to add 100 to the score. Text score object. Well, we could do this. So you're going to come back here, you're going to double click, you're going to add another piece of text, and this is going to be, oops, I forgot to name it. Let me make sure I name it because I'm going to probably need to do it. So notice just the default is text. Let's do text score. If I redid this, I'd probably just use the word display. We want it to be exactly the same, so let's do 20. And it's telling me to just jump right to it, and let's go add those actions. So text updates. We're going to add an action to the text score, and it's going to be set text. And we are going to say score. Remember, you want to do this and this because that's what's going to actually print to your screen. We want to make sure we print a space. If you don't print a space, it's not the end of the world. Just your number will be squished with the word score, semicolon, or regular colon. So we use the concatenation operator and then score. Check that out. We are combining a string with a variable. So let's play our game. Ooh, check that out. And so it says, did you notice that when you started your game, the score doesn't start at 0? That's because right off the bat, your objects are destroyed, thus giving the player points. So we're going to right-click on the bullet collisions group and select edit. So bullet collisions group, right-click and select edit. And we're going to uncheck the active on start and click OK. In the layout start group, after you destroy these enemies, we're going to add an action. So I got that. After we destroy the enemies, we're going to add another action to the system, set group active. And the group we're going to set active is bullet collisions. I suppose I needed it in the quotes. Here we go. And now what you want to do is make sure that you drag this and put it in order. Yeah, right after you destroy them. Then we're going to begin the bullet collisions. On your own, text status object. Oh, cool. All right, so the last component we're going to add using the text object is a notification message to inform the players of their success. So we're going to go back here. We're going to add a text object. So you know what? This was also kind of like out there. I'm going to move this up here. You could even these all out, right, by putting them at the same position. Remember, X is the first number, and that's left and right. Y is the second number. So I'm going to change mine to 15. I'm going to put this one at comma 15, just so they're nice and lined up. And then maybe I'll put this one at like, oh, look at that. 50 looks good. Now they're just going to be a little bit more like in alignment. All right, anyways, create a text object. So text. Remember, name it text status. To the middle of your layout. In the text properties, set the initial visibility to invisible. Look at this, initially visible. Get rid of it. And now what we're going to do is we're going to add events. We're going to come back here. We're going to add a sub-event. When the player is destroyed. This one? Yep, so I'm going to right-click, add a sub-event. And it's going to be for the system. I'm going to type else. And then my actions are going to be I hope they give me that message right here. No. I mean, they do, but it's 6 a.m. right now. I'm trying to, and I haven't eaten yet. I'm trying to just see what they got. All right, so we're going to add an action. It's going to be for the text status. This is like a message we're giving your player, set text. And what we're going to say is, yeah, you made it to wave. Now what we're going to do is we're going to plug the variable in for wave. And notice Construct 3 does a really good job of kind of like grouping these different parts by color. So this is my string. I've got to use a concatenator operator every time I want to connect basically your variable to a string. And so next we're going to say and scored score, whoops, and symbol, go space, and write the word points. The reason I'm like quick and I understand this concatenator stuff is because this is a very common technique in computer science. A lot of times, like in JavaScript, we use a plus sign to concatenate a string with a variable, and so you'll kind of see this programming pattern if you ever go into any other sort of programming. You'll see that you are combining, this is what we call strings, that's like going to be directly outputted, and then your variable, this is actually a number getting stored in this word, and then the and signs will connect the two ideas together. So what we're going to do is we're going to set the text status set visible, and then we're going to set it invisible. Oh no, text player live. So if we send out that status, then we're going to make this one invisible. Cool. Play and save your game. So let's play it. Check out that score going up. All right, let's grab some of these good things. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this is like actually working. This is crazy. Missed all those power-ups. There we go. That one's so nice. Some other cool ideas. Look, this is where that last... Oh. When is that supposed to pop up? I forgot what we programmed it to say. Or like when we programmed it to say it is what I meant. Come on. I really should have set the boss health to, When did I tell this? Oh, this is going to stay at the very end. Oh, I get it. Because, if the player lives, if this is false, meaning the player lives have reached 0, you're done. Game over. And so this is really saying, hey, when the game is over, display this last message. Cool. All right. Good job. Don't forget to save. I keep forgetting to save. Don't forget to save.